Get your reactions ready. The live portion of the show will begin in just a moment. Today is Sunday, May 21st, and it's Game 3 between the Yankees and the Reds. Yankees were going for the sweep, but the story was the return of Luis Severino. My recap and your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
All right. And this is why we don't call it Yankees game night anymore. 2:12 in the afternoon, and we're having a post-game show. How sweep it is, though. Let's break out the brooms in the chat. I see Alex Valerio is a little bit ahead of us. Welcome back, everybody. The road trip is over. And you have to say that it was pretty successful. 3 out of 4 from the Jays and a sweep of the Reds. And the Yankees go 6-1. Big road trip. Now, entering this series, you expected a sweep. I wouldn't say it was a must sweep, but it's one of those ones where you really should sweep the Reds, and they did. But it was not going to be easy because Hunter Green was on the mound and Judge was out of the starting lineup. Nothing wrong with Judge, but the Yankees have a day off tomorrow, so they were trying to give him back-to-back days off. That's something that Aaron Boone likes to do. But this is a ballpark that yields the home run ball, and today the Yankees won with the home run ball. You had a 2-run shot from Bader. You had an opposite field shot from Gleyber Torres. But the main story was the return of Luis Severino. We got him back, and really it was like facing another AAA team. Honestly, it felt like another rehab start, but he gave us 4 2/3 innings. Got taken out after 75 pitches, but overall, really solid job for Mr. Luis Severino. IKF had a good road trip. We confirmed that Ben Rortvedt is real. We had a great series from Anthony Rizzo. He struck out 3 times today, but also picked up a base hit. Leaves the road trip hitting .300. Had a couple of home runs in this series. And, of course, Aaron Judge was phenomenal for this entire road trip, and you hope that he carries it home against the Orioles. So Boone had an early exit. I have a conspiracy theory about Aaron Boone here. I think that he's in town. He knows a lot of people in Cincinnati, and he knew that he wanted to get ejected in the first inning so that he could go have lunch somewhere and be back for the end of the game for the post-game press conference. Would not shock me if we found out he was at, Golden Corral with some buddies, during the 4th inning. But he got ejected in the first inning. Reds actually jumped up 1-0. And early on, Severino, didn't really have the top-notch velocity. It came as the game went along. The control also wasn't great early on, but the one thing that stuck out to me was how phenomenal his changeup looked. He was getting a ton of lateral movement. It almost looked like a Greg Maddux fastball where he started at the left-hander's hip and it breaks out over the plate for a strike. He was just getting an unbelievable amount of movement. Hunter Green was also dealing early on. Yankees had difficulty getting to him. Maria on, hey, actually saying hi. She was on Pete's stream. I did the live game with Pete today, and I gave Maria a hard time about not coming on my stream anymore. So good to see you, Maria. Anyway, the Yankees were pretty much doing nothing offensively off of Hunter Green early on. But in the 5th inning, they broke through Mr. Harrison Bader.
There it goes. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
2-run shot, his 4th of the season. And an absolute nuke. 411 feet to left field, pretty deep into the lower deck. And after that, Severino was solid in the 5th, but he came out after just 75 pitches, got 2 outs in the 5th, and because of that, he does not get a win. Aaron Boone may have let him stay in, but I feel like there was an order from the manager's office to Matt Blake, who was controlling things today, to say, hey, 75 pitches is his limit. And Matt Blake didn't have the authority to go beyond that. to get him that last out. So Severino was obviously upset in the dugout. I mean, we rarely see him this visibly pissed. I called it, or I compared it to, and I make this comparison a lot on The Last Dance, one of my favorite docuseries. Early on in Michael Jordan's career, he had a foot injury, and he came back, and he was completely healthy. He felt like he was healthy, but they had these Jordan rules where you couldn't play him more than 10 minutes or whatever. So he would get in and start just dominating, and then he'd have to go sit on the bench, right? And he would just be sitting there just overflowing with energy. I felt like Severino was overflowing with energy when they took him out. I felt like he could have thrown another 15 or 20 pitches. Obviously, they don't want to do that with him. They want to, be careful. He's just coming back from the injury. We need him. But I feel like one more out would have been fine. I feel like you could have gone out to the mound and made a visit and said, hey, look, you're at 75 pitches. That's what we wanted you to throw. Get a quick out. This is your last guy. And then leave it in his hands. And then you don't create, tension in the dugout and, possibly post-game anger that, it wouldn't surprise me if he says something questionable in the post-game, because he was visibly pissed and did not want to come out. But overall, 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk. So the command was there, and 5 strikeouts. So very nice job from Mr. Louie. Top 6, Gleyber Torres. We had just finished talking about how we would trade Gleyber Torres, and no sooner did we get the words out of our mouth before he went oppo boppo.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
7th home run of the season. That made it 3-1. Good to see him getting that right field swing back just in time to go back to New York. Val says, is there a yes post-game? Don't see it since they're playing the NY Liberty game right now. They're really hyping up that Liberty team. Apparently they've got some superstars, but would not surprise me if there's no post-game. It might be on the Yes app, but nobody has the Yes app, so it doesn't matter. Nice job by Cordero in relief today. Bottom of the 8th inning, Reds manager just absolutely blew a gasket. Now, this is one of those things where I might need your help on, because this is one of those areas where the volume was down, right? Because I'm doing this post-game with Pete, and I can't tell what he's saying. I see him out there saying like 3 times, like he's talking about the checking of the pitchers, I think. And I guess he was just livid that a Yankees pitcher didn't get removed from the game or whatever. Anyway, the manager got ejected, blew an absolute basket. Kieran says, what do you think Bader said to IKF in the outfield? They nearly collided. I guess they did collide, but it was nearly worse than it could have. It was nearly worse than it was. And Bader ended up kind of looking in his glove, like, and not seeing the baseball, and then looking and seeing that IKF had it. And I think he probably said, that's my ball. That would probably be what I would say in that situation. Greg Allen. Who would have expected Greg Allen to be the final salvo fired from the grassy knoll to take out Aaron Hicks? But he was. That's enshrined him as a Yankee legend forever, no matter what. He picked up a triple in the 8th inning. He got stranded. And on the live stream, we were just talking about how, and not to clown on Hicks anymore, but that's a situation where you can see where, Hicks would have coasted into second with a 3-run lead. But a guy who plays hard like Greg Allen, he was hustling out of the box because he knew that this game was not out of hand. So I appreciate the hustle from Greg Allen. Clay Holmes came in for the 9th inning and gave us all severe indigestion. Loaded the bases. You remember last year he melted down versus the Reds, and that was really the beginning of the end for him. He was never quite the same after that moment, but he put it together just in time, and the Yankees sweep the series.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Interesting note from Frankie. Yankees Reds is the first game this season in which both opposing managers were ejected. How about that? We'll take it. Alex Valerio, big fan of the hustle. I am too. And he can really pick him up and put him down. And Ronnie says Boone got more rest than Judge on Judge's off day. Well, Judge didn't play. At least Boone had to go out onto the field and argue a little bit. But, Judge got the day off. He got to kick up the feet and take it easy. Let's take a look at the box score. Final game of this homestand. Or road trip, excuse me. Torres 1 for 4, Rizzo 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. LeMahieu 0 for 4. He's been looking bad recently. He's had a rough road trip. I hope he's not hurt. I hope it's just a little bit of a slump, but it is worth noting that Oswald Peraza is absolutely dominating AAA right now. And also, Austin Wells hit another home run yesterday. He's got 8 home runs and 75 at-bats. But I bring up Peraza because, he can play some third base if you need to give LeMahieu some time off. Wouldn't shock me to see LeMahieu get maybe Tuesday off, double up the off days. But against the Orioles, you never know. Calhoun 1 for 3 with a run scored. Bader 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs, hitting .277 with that .832 OPS. Big home run. Bowers continues to struggle. He was 0 for 2. He's hitting .175. They keep running him out there. I do see some competitive at-bats, but I also see him getting overmatched. He can't hit a fastball over 96, 97 miles an hour, and if you throw it up in the zone, he can't lay off of it either. So that's not good. But obviously, the Yankees are in desperate need of left-handed bats, so they're going to keep running him out there. And with Aaron Hicks gone, that's one less guy who can hit from the left side of the plate. So, anyway. Kind of Falefa 0 for 2. No home runs, unfortunately. Guy's been tearing the cover off the ball. He did rope a couple of nice foul balls, though. Higashioka 0 for 3. And we had a conversation today, and I'd like to know in the chat how you guys feel about this. When Trevino comes back in a few weeks, who goes down? Is it Kyle Higashioka? I don't think you can option him. You would have to trade him or DFA him. Or do you stick with Rortvedt? Rortvedt has options. He can be sent down, but 25-year-old kid, good left-handed swing. Noel with the dono. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Baba Boo.
Kieran says she's going to come to the September 23rd event at the Audi Club. So I do want to say, anybody who wants to have a good time, wants to meet me and Pete, September 23rd, he's got an event on his channel where he rented out the Audi Club, and it's overlooking the field from the just to the left of the left field foul pole, so it's really good views. Apparently, there's great food, and I'm a foodie. I love eating. I don't necessarily eat healthy food, but I could eat a good steak. Apparently they have pasta, all sorts of stuff, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have a couple of my friends with me, just coming up to make the trip. I'm trying to find a place to stay. I haven't decided what hotel I'm going to stay at. So if anybody has any recommendations that have easy access to the airport and to the subway, I might just take a car to the game, honestly. But just got to figure out where I'm going to stay, because I like to give you guys a little bit of notice when I'm not going to be doing a podcast. My plan is to do pretty much every post game all season long. I started off thinking, well, I'm going to take some time off. But the games are going so quick that I think we should be able to do most of the West Coast games as well. But I will be taking a couple of days off in late September to go to this event. I'm going to go up probably either Friday night and stay over and go to the game on Saturday during the day, get to the stadium nice and early. Or I might just stay Friday and Saturday and come back Sunday. We'll see. But it's going to be a ton of fun. So if you guys want to come out there and meet me and just kind of shoot the proverbial shit, it'll be fun. Hey, we didn't do the belt. I just realized we didn't do the belt. I'm a little discombobulated because, we just did this whole live stream, so I didn't get to finish all of my notes and stuff. I'm feeling like Harrison Bader might be my guy today.
Let's go.
2-run home run.
Winner.
UT says, are there going to be any watch parties this season? So I really don't like doing watch parties by myself. I just had a watch party with Pete. I think, they're kind of the go-to for, daily watch parties. I'm sure I'll be back on with him, a few times a year. But really, my bread and butter is doing the post-game show, and I love to do it. And, it's 25 minutes instead of 3 hours. So it's less of a commitment. I get to watch the game and then, I always have trouble with venting if it's a bad game. So this gives me an opportunity to vent or to celebrate with like-minded people if the Yankees win. So Parkson clarifying that Higgy is not eligible to be sent down, so out of options. So it'll be interesting to see what the Yankees do. Let's say Rortvedt continues to play well. In his first game, he had 2 hits. I think he's going to get some opportunities at Yankee Stadium with the short right field porch. If he porches a couple of home runs, if he's hitting 260, I don't see how you can send a guy like that down when he's a good catcher. Higgy's been great for us over the last several years as a backup, but do you want to let him impede the progress of a young left-handed hitting catcher when you've got already your starting catcher locking up the job for a bit? You want to get Rortvedt some experience as a backup so that he can transition eventually into the starting catcher. I think that's the plan. So, all right, let's go ahead and hang on a second. Let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Game over, man. It's game over.
We got about 5 minutes left. And Joe Mann says, stay with the post game. I agree. I've worked really hard on this formula, and I'm trying to improve the visuals. We made the screen on the highlights a little bit bigger this week.
Most impressive.
Bionic says, do a pregame from the Audi Club. Maybe. I was thinking about doing a postgame from the hotel room. Just doing break out the cell phone and do a quick, but I probably won't, honestly. We are going to be filming a vlog. So my buddy Justin Parisi, he's the producer of one of the biggest podcasts in the world. And he's a film guy. He takes a lot of video and pictures and things like that. Never been to Yankee Stadium. He's actually a Mets fan. So we're not going to hold that against him. But he's not really a big Mets fan. He's kind of one of those guys who he picked his team as a kid because he didn't live anywhere near New York. He liked the uniforms and he had a Darryl Strawberry collection of baseball cards. That's where he became a Mets fan. But I'm slowly every season inching him closer over to being a Yankees fan. And so I told him, I said, hey, look, man, I'm going up there for the first time in several years. You got to come with me. We'll film a vlog if you'll shoot some video, and kind of be my right hand man on production that day. I'll cover your Audi club ticket, all that stuff. So he's going to be with me. It's going to be a fun trip. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. Parkson says Bowers is not a good outfielder, and I have to say I agree. He just makes me look he makes me uncomfortable. I almost said makes me look uncomfortable. He looks uncomfortable, and it makes me uncomfortable. Noel says Judge was sitting because Boone doesn't know how to take advantage of a hot streak. Well, here's the issue with that is you want to give him a couple of days off, and you'd rather have him play against the Orioles than against the Reds, right? If you're going to rest him against a team that you can probably beat without him, right? So I think that was the thinking from Aaron Boone today. Yankee Judge says, I saw someone say that Donaldson said he was getting the Ellsbury treatment. Not sure how true that is, but I believe him. The Ellsbury treatment is where they just keep putting somebody on the injured list over and over and over again and claiming the insurance so you don't have to pay him. Look, Donaldson, if he just takes the rest of the season off, I'd be completely fine with it. Letsky says, who's your favorite team besides the Yankees? In baseball, I don't have a favorite team other than the Yankees. The Yankees are the only team I pay attention to, only team I care about. I've been watching, trying to find some other sports that I can get into because I've been thinking about creating other channels to recap and maybe not do the recaps myself, but maybe produce them. I thought about maybe the Giants. So I've been watching some Giants games, some football Giants. Carolina Hurricanes are a big local team, not doing so great right now in their playoff series, but I've recently become acquainted with their director of marketing, and he said he can probably help me get into a game and get some decent seats. So I plan to take him up on that. And Game Day is a sponsor of this podcast. They haven't their window has expired now, but they're coming back in June, and they have great deals on last minute tickets. So I was thinking about if the Carolina Hurricanes make the finals, just checking it out. And I have some credit on there and just seeing if I could maybe get a couple of tickets for that. My wife has always said that she wants to go to a hockey game too. She went to the Buffalo Sabres with her friend and says she had a good time. She's not much of a sports person, but I do think she likes kind of like the energy of the stadium or whatnot. So, but we go to a lot of concerts and stuff at the Carolina Hurricanes Stadium. We saw the Trans-Siberian Orchestra there around Christmas time. Great, phenomenal concert. I mean, it's a great little venue. Joe Mann says Holmes learned the wrong things from Chapman. How to load the bases. Ugh. Anyway. All right, guys, we are going to wrap things up 2:30 in the afternoon and wrapping up the post game. Feels weird. But thank you all for joining, and be sure to check out Designated Spitters over on the NYY News TV channel tonight, 7 o'clock. My weekly wrap up with Pete. We do a show here on Fridays and then wrap up over there. Again, be sure to check out the NYYRecaps.shop. It's my birthday this week. 40 years old on Thursday. Help me retire early by buying some swag from the shop and just do podcast stuff and not have to worry about anything else. But all right, guys, I'll see you next time.
Ball game over.
Most impressive.